Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So today we're going to make one of these. So this was my inspiration. So this is a box that's been sat on my window ledge for a long time. It did have some alphabetical game cards in, all geographical stuff about the UK. But I liked the box, so I kept it. I've obviously used the game cards for many other craft. So I liked it, and then I thought, I was sat there and I was thinking, I've been making lots of boxes. I'm really enjoying the making the boxes thing, and it really kind of ticks my construction kind of mind. So I made this, which is a kind of facsimile of this. So this is one that I've just put some like little note cards in and some little baby envelopes, and you know, it'll look great on Margot's desk. So I thought we'd make another one of those, and I'll show you how I made it, because it's so simple. You know, it's basically a box, but I'll just show you how. Okay, so I am probably going to make it out of this to start with, and then if we've got time, we'll make it out of this, because this is a beautiful colour. This kind of, I don't know, what would you say that was? It's a bit darker than raspberry, I think, but you know, that kind of tone, so tonality. So what you will need is, you will need a piece of cardboard to make it this size, which measures a measurement that I don't remember. I think it's 3 by 4. So this measures 3 by 4. So to make a 3 by 4 1 inch deep box, then you will need a piece of paper that is, well, a piece of cardboard that is 9 by 5. Okay, so let's just cut this down to 9 by 5. So that's 9. Now let's flip it round by 5. So you'll need 2 of these, by the way. I forgot to say that. You'll need 2 pieces of card, which I should have just got ready. So I didn't, because I got 2 of the raspberry together and then lost my marbles. Well, never had my marbles, to be fair. So 9 by 5. Working 9 to 5. What? What? How did I manage to do 9 by 5 and then get that size piece of card done? 5 by 9, yes, and how is that's not the same? That's 9 by 9, Dave, you idiot. But you probably noticed that. You were all going, no, that's not 9 by 5, that's 9 by 9. But you know, I wasn't paying any attention to you. I wasn't paying any attention to me, clearly. So once you've got 2 pieces of card this size, then you're going to need a scoreboard. Now, I realise that a lot of you don't have this style of scoreboard, where it has a base this side and a lid this side. And if you don't have that, what you just need to do is, your base, you'll just need to decide which is your base, and just cut that a 1/16 of an inch shorter on 2 sides. So you're going to make it, what's that, 4 7/8? Is that no, 4 and 15/16 and 8 and 15/16. Yeah, it's a good job I usually use centimeters, because like the world, if like us, but a good job I don't do any kind of engineering, otherwise all the bridges would have been too short. So because I'm using my scoreboard, that doesn't mean that. So once you've cut one shorter, you just have to remember that is your base, and you're going to score as the lid. But I'm going to do mine slightly different, because I've got a lid base. I've got a base bit and I've got a lid bit. Oh, that's that paintbrush that I didn't wash from earlier. That's just fallen out of the sky. So I'll have to remember to wash that. So let's do the base first. So the base is slightly different. If you've got a base and a lid one, then what you need to do is, you're going to score using the horizontal. You're going to use, the vertical. This is the vertical, this is the horizontal. So portrait style at the 1 inch, which is the 11, because the board is 12 in my case. So that's the 11 there. And then I'm going to flip it round and do the same that side. So rather than doing it from this side, flipping it round, because then that will give me the shape I desire. So then that's the 11 there. That was the 11, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, not pressing down too far. And then turn it round to the horizontal, or the landscape, and you're going to do this at 4. So 4 in from there is 8. So you're going to do there. And you're going to flip it round, you're going to do the same again. 4 in from there is 8. What you'll find that gives you is this now is, if you look at this is here to here is an inch. You can see here it's no longer an inch. It's just going to make it a little bit smaller, which means it'll slide inside the lid nicely. Then for the lid, you take your other piece, and you're going to go a line at 1, and now this time, because the spaces are correct, you're going to do at 4. So at 1 and 4. Okay, then you're going to turn it around to the horizontal or landscape, and you're going to do 4 and 5. Okay, so you'll see here, or you might not be able to see, you can see now that these 2 lines fit nicely inside these 2 lines, and that should be a similar sort of thing. Yes, these 2 lines now sit inside those 2 lines. Yep, so this is our base. Remember, that's our base. So just check. If it's smaller, it's your base. So that's my base. I'm going to work with my base first. Now, once I've done all of the scoring, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. Now, you're always cutting in with the piece being horizontal or landscape, and you're going to cut in to that first line with your shaky hands. You might not have shaky hands. If you're a brain surgeon, you probably don't, although I don't know many brain surgeons that craft. They're usually going out partying and jetting around the world, and I don't know any brain surgeons, so to be fair. So once you've done that, then what you're going to do is you're going to cut these ones down, because these are going to be tabs. So, I'm just going to cut that down because it's going to be a tab. Okay, and you're going to cut that one down, because it's going to be a tab. Okay, and only one of these will be the sides. The other one is just going to be tabs. So again, you're just going to cut that down. So it's just going to be a tab, and on this side as well. Okay, now because they're tabs, you want to shape them, just so that they don't interfere with the mechanism of it all. There we go, and there. Just shake those off there at the top. Okay, so, and then what you want to do is you want to put your score lines in. So get your bone folder, scoring in, all your tabs as well. That just helps to keep it all together nicely. Okay, so, and then we're just going to do those lines, those as well, on there, and one there. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side. That is the base done. So if you're not quite sure which one's which, just write on it base. It's going to be inside, nobody's going to see it. So this one, again, we're going to pick it up, and we're again going to have it on the horizontal or the landscape, whichever you prefer to call it. And again, just cutting in. Okay, and again, you're going to have one bit that is the sides and the other bit are just your tabs. So we're just going to cut those down. In fact, I'm just going to cut all the way through there. And all the way through there. And we're just going to shape those into tabs. So again, this is another nice one if you're making boxes for Christmas. You know, to put, you might want to put a pack of playing cards in there, or you could put a nice gift card in there. You know, I don't mind giving gift cards anymore. I used to think, oh, I'd rather have something, but I don't mind giving gift cards anymore. But I like them to be wrapped. I don't want them to just be in the Christmas card. I want them wrapped up nicely. Like, don't make it look like a gift card. But you know, each to their own. That's just me. So this is a great way to make that. You know, make this would be perfect for putting a gift card in, and nobody ever going to know. They're going to think, oh, thank you, you bought me. I don't know what it is. And they open it up, and to their surprise, it's something they don't have to go, oh, I hope you kept the receipt. Although I'm pretty good at buying gifts, to be fair. So this is the base. So let's get rid of these bits. Tidy our workstation as we go. It makes it much easier. Okay, so some of that fell. I will admit, some of that fell on the floor. So as you can see, I inked this one. So it did start off as being just a brown case, and I did ink it, and I inked inside. And that's something you might want to do now. So what I'm just going to say is, don't worry about these edges, okay, so much. So don't like ink all over this bit, because it's a tab, you're not going to see it. So I will be honest with you, I did use I used a permanent ink, okay, so one of these, because I just wanted a deeper colour. So these don't tend to fade, the colour on these don't tend to fade as much. And I like the scraggy kind of look to it. When you use the distress style inks, they do fade back from the pungent colour that you put them on with. And I wanted to have like a very pungent colour that wasn't even. So that's the reason why I used this. So the thing is, this gets all over your fingers, and then you have to go to every meeting with this all over your fingers. So if you've got a meeting, wear some gloves. If you don't, then you know you're fine. Okay, so getting all of those nice corners. Then these tabs you're going to see, so I'm going to put some ink on them. I know it's sacrilege, some of you are probably thinking, using a nice ink pad like this, but at the end of the day, it's my craft room, my stuff, and I did it my way. And there's a song there, but we won't sing it, because, you know, I've murdered enough songs in my lifetime. So this is the ideal opportunity now to put your little divots in, because I tell you now, it's easier to do it now than to try and put it in later. So especially if you've got a punch like this, if you noticed it kind of hangs over the edge. If you're trying to wedge that in a prepared box, you'll bend it out of shape. So just try and get it in the kind of the middle, and you will need a divot of some kind, because that just gives you a bit of purchase on it when you're trying to open it. So you see here, so this just gives you that ability to grab hold of it and slide it out. Otherwise you'd be like trying to get hold of it like this, squashing the box. Okay, so there we go, that's that. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, remember, this is the outer, and I can tell now because I've done the divots in it, and so that means my brain's going, okay, you'd have the divots on the outside, you don't need them on the inside, Dave, so this must be the outside. So I'm just going to glue these tabs. So I would suggest you do the bottom tabs first and get a nice alignment. So when you're putting it together, I don't know whether you can see that, you want to still just be able to see the crease of the original fold. You don't want to kind of cover it. This bit that you're gluing doesn't want to sit over this edge. Okay, and then you'll get a nice shape that way. Bit of glue there. So hopefully you can see that. So there you've got that. You can see the corner of the fold. Okay, and then we're going to glue this. Now again, I'm going to make a suggestion. You do one side first and get it all shaped and aligned. Remember, you want to see that crease. Get it in the right place. Give it a bit of a wiggle. It's much easier to work on one side and then the other rather than trying to do them both at the same time. And once you've got it in place, then you can kind of squash it down with your bone folder. Yeah, and then you can do this side. You just want to flip that tab in there and then kind of wedge it apart with your finger and get the glue in and on that edge as well. And again, just shape this. Rather than trying to do both sides, you'll find otherwise one side will just stick together in its natural position, which it won't be the place where you wanted it. And then you'll find yourself trying to pull the box apart to get it to look right. So once it's in place, just put it on a flat surface and wiggle it with your bone folder. And again, look, you can see that crease there. Okay, so that's that one. So then we'll do the inside. Okay, so on this one, you'll notice that I shaped it because I knew what I was going to put in it. You can leave it. You can absolutely leave it, or you can shape it. And what I did to shape it was I took a piece of cardboard. I didn't necessarily mean it was the same size. Just so you can kind of eyeball it. So like this, I can see eyeballing that's kind of in the middle now. Okay. Then I folded my piece of cardboard over. And to make things easy, I mean, I could have done it with a rounded bit, but to make things easier for myself, I just cut in and then cut off. But when you see when I do it here, and I put it down on here, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw on here on the slopey bits, the chamfered bits, the sides, and I'm going to leave that bottom bit. Okay, the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to just snip those. On the other side. And then I'm going to fold that over. So you just get a nicer edge to it. More rounded edge. Yeah, so you've just got a rounded edge here rather than a just cut edge. Okay, so and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue that down. Like I say, you could absolutely leave this and not have that bit on. Entirely up to you. So again, we're just going to make sure they're all nice and in first. Again, what we're going to do is we're going to ink it before we do anything with it. Now the inside, you know, you can do as much or as little as you like. I tried to do the bottom to have quite a bit of colour on it because it had probably been stood on its end and therefore kept its colour quite a bit. But the rest of it probably would have been sliding inside and out, in and out of the box. Oh, nearly got that full square on my t-shirt. I'd love to tell you I was wearing some old clothes, but I'm not. Because I never do. Because I never live and learn. Love and learn. Live and learn. I love and learn, but not live and learn. And you know, if this is too random for you, then go ahead and fully colour it, or use a piece of coloured card or whatever you're using. You obviously, you know, this would look lovely in using some floral card, or you know, pattern paper, or using up some of those things that those paper pads that you bought and you never, well, you used 3 pages out of it because you'd used the ones that you really liked. Perfect for using bits up. Okay, so once we've done that, what we're going to do is make sure that that's glued down, Dave. Is we're just going to glue the same in the same way. So glue the bottom panels first. I do both sides of these because they're only little, and they're, by the time we've done one side and move around to the other, it'll be fine. Oh, sorry, I meant to say you do need to snip a tiny bit off this edge. Sorry, meant to say that. You can tell that by when you line it up. Look, it doesn't quite marry up. So you want to snip a bit off. Now, I forgot to say that. That was a mistake. But, you know, better to make them now than later. So I'm just going to cut that bit off there. So it's about, is that a 1/16 or an 1/8? About an 1/8 of an inch, I guess. Now, obviously, if you're making the box the other way, you won't need to do that. If you're doing it with the base and the lid, you might. Okay, so there we go. That lines up better now. Line one side up and get it in place. Pinch it. Line the other side up, get that in place and pinch it. Yep, and then we're going to do one side. In line, line it up. I should have cut a little bit more off that bottom edge, but it's fine. In fact, I should have cut a little bit more off that whole line. And when I said it's easier to do it now than later, this is what I mean by later. There we go, that's fine. Ooh. Go in, please. Go in. Right, okay. Now I'm just going to hold that open while I put a bit of glue on it. And your bottom will dictate where this goes. So I've cut enough off this side, clearly, but not off on the other one, the other side. And just put that in there. Stick it down with that. Do the same with that side. Cool. Okay, so I'm just going to get some colour on the inside. A bit of vintage photo just on the inside. You don't need to do this, it's my OCD kicking in. You could do it all before you assemble it, but my OCD says I've got to do this, so I'm doing it. I live by my OCD. My OCD and my anxiety are the two things that kind of driving force for me. Okay, so there you go. And then what that should do is that should go in there. Might need a wiggle to get it in first. Just because I'm on camera. There you go. So I'll just slide in there, and that's it. And then once it's dry, it will make it easier. It'll just a bit. So this one was as stiff as this before, but now this one's gone a bit softer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the whole making it look older thing. So You know, I like to get in there with an emery board and soften up all of these edges. So that red, that bright red, isn't quite as bright red now, so it does look much more old. I love craft card for the stuff that you can do with it, so you can make it look really old. I really like to take corners off, because I think corners are one of the first things to go on books and boxes and all sorts of things. You tend to find that boxes lose their corners quickly. Usually get dinted and squashed and caught. And then the same happens on the side corners, these bits here. And that's how I kind of roll when I'm making things look old. So take that out. You can do the same on the bottom edge. I didn't do so much on the inside because it wouldn't have got exposed to as much bangs and bashes. You can just, like, especially the joined side, you can just pull that off, just sand that down a bit, but not as much. I kind of found that the surface would be the thing that wears down a bit more from it sliding against the inside of the box. But you know, that's me with my logical brain, how it works. Once you've done that, just brush it down a bit. Oh, it's gone all like woolly on the surface now. Something I never used to like the feel of, but I do now. So there we go, that goes in there. So you want it to be quite, you don't want to hold it and it just fall out, because then you can put something in it and it'll stay in there. So let's just dust that off, get rid of that bit. Hands. And then what I did was I just took some coffee dyed paper, just a piece of scrap paper that I had. These bits are the holy grail. I have to keep them. I just cut it down. I kind of eyeballed it, didn't really do any kind of real working out or anything like that. I think I want to go a bit smaller than that. Yeah, put that on there, and then look at me with my measuring, measuring. Let's use this and kind of get that square. Just cut that off. And then I stamped it with something. With one of these. In fact, well, up until about 20 seconds ago I had the actual stamp that I used, so I don't anymore, so that's probably not going to be, I don't know what that says. Phnom Penh. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to use this. Again, it's going to be one of those ones where, which way up is it? Does it matter? Probably does, and you'll get it wrong, but never mind. Oh look, here, I found it. Found the one I used last time. But I've decided I'm going to use this now. So I'm going to pick that up. And we'll do it in... I don't know, what shall we do it in? Is that too light a colour? Maybe we'll use a purple. I'm going to put that in here. Kind of in the middle. And then, I don't know, like I say, I don't know what that is, so like, it might be, hopefully it's not anything offensive. Put that on there. And then we'll put, I don't know, maybe we'll put this number. We do this number. Let's put that on a smaller block there. Put it on the side of there. Maybe we'll do this in a different colour. Green, black, maybe. No, not black. Black's a bit too, not garish, too strong. Which way up is that number? It's very hard to tell. I'll do that. There. And again there. And again there. Oh, let's do it the other way around. And there. Number off, stick that on there, and maybe put this number at the bottom. Cool, that's good. And then all I did was I took the same colour ink that I used for the box. I just did that down the sides. And I thought that kind of helped bring it together better. Like unite it, marry it up, that sort of thing. And I did, let's do this bit, I want to kind of just pinch it and fold it, and then we'll just ink that like that. And just a random going over of it, let it touch the ink pad wherever it likes. That. So make sure my box is the right way up. So I usually like to put it so that the join, which I can't feel now, that's the join there, that side, is at the back. So put that at the front like this. I'm just going to glue this down. And of course you can use a file folder to make this with, or whatever you like, but I didn't use a file folder because I know a lot of people haven't got file folders, don't have access to file folders, and I didn't want to, you know, alienate those people that don't. So I just put that down like that, and then got my ink, and then just inked over some of those edges. Especially on the bits that I like to see, which are these where your fingers have been grabbing and they tend to go a bit discoloured on those bits. line on all of those. Of course, the other thing that makes it super authentic for me is something I can't get off this thing. A bit of faux sellotape. So we're going to just snip and tear, because I like the randomness of the tearing. And we're just going to cut it down, and we'll put it somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. Maybe like that. But we'll stick it down because it's not sticky, not very sticky. So there we go, that's it. So that is the very simplest of little boxes that you can make using whatever you like. Now, I didn't use the raspberry. Don't think I'm going to use the raspberry in this video. I think I might use it for something else, because there's more boxes coming up. So just loving making the boxes at the moment. So I think the next video is also going to be a box. So anyway, that's just a thing. Like I say, you can put whatever you like in there. You know, you could put a pack of playing cards in there, or you could put I don't know, note cards or whatever. But it's just nice, another little storage thing. And like I say, I'll put some note cards in there. I curled it in a slightly different way, but that was my inspiration. So now we've got some other colours. So there you go. So I hope that's something you enjoyed. Don't forget to give the video a like. Thank you very much to everybody that's subscribed. Thank you to everybody that's commented, liked, just been here, whatever. Really appreciate you interacting with the video though, because it does tell YouTube that you like what you say. So and as I am a little channel trying to grow, I'm much appreciative of your interaction. So thanks very much, folks. Don't forget, I love you all without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. And I'll see you in the next video, when my hands are probably still going to be very dirty. So take care, folks. Lots of love from me. Lots of hugs. Love from Margot and Seth. Take care, folks. See you soon. Bye.